Hello everyone. I'm here today not necessarily to do a craft or a piece of journal work. I want to try to figure out how to organize my space. And actually it's somewhat organized right now, but it's just still not convenient for me to remember where I put everything. So I have like charms hanging up here. I have a desk drawer full of cases of different things like charms and I don't know, chains and necklaces and broken jewelry and that kind of thing. And then I have up here different containers holding different things. So I watched 49 Dragonflies last week. I think I mentioned that to you. And she said that she used ChatGAP, I think it's called. It's chat, CHAT, capital G, capital P, capital T. I just call it ChatGAP. I don't know what it's called. So I thought, my kids use this, my grandkids, I should say. And I thought, oh, I don't want to use one of those, type of apps that, AI apps, because I don't know what to do with it. So anyway, I decided to ask that question, and I have my iPhone here. And it said, I asked, yes, I would like to organize my craft room, and I will send you a picture and see if you can come up with something that I could do. Okay, so the response is, absolutely, send me a picture of your craft room and I'll help you organize organization based on what size of the room, this furniture, and so forth and so on. Okay, well, I didn't want to know all that stuff. I don't want to revamp the room. I just want to clean it up. So I'm going to skip all that right now. And then it says once he sees the picture, I'm assuming it's a he, he'll suggest a room layout, identify clutter, hot spots, suggest inexpensive storage solutions, and so on. So when I uploaded the picture, which you guys probably, I don't know, let me see if I can get that big enough where you can, can I turn it that way? You really can't tell. But this is part of the picture. I don't know how much you can see, but there's my lace and things like that on my desk, and there's little boxes up here to put things in, and then here's the words, paper clips, circles, and so forth underneath there, and washi tape, and this is all metal stuff, and I call it Tim Staples is what I call it, because I can never find the staples, but that's where they are. And so, and then I've got buttons and just, all kinds of stuff. This is just my portion that I can see right here in front of me. Okay, so let me go back out of that picture. So after I sent that, it says, thank you for sharing the photo. The good news is you're actually much closer to an organized craft room than you may think. I can already see that you've done a lot of categorizing, can't say that right, and labeling. The main challenge isn't a lack of organization, it's that you have outgrown your current storage system and your work surface has become overflow space. So what it's saying is, things that are working is the clear plastic containers, the items that are already labeled. I mean, they've got everything in here. Photos, butterflies, birds. It's like, how do they do that in a matter of seconds? Similar supplies are grouped together. Vertical shelving is being used, blah, 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 blah. And the paper pile in the center, which I don't know what he's talking about exactly, because I had a stack of things here. And then it said the solution was magazine files, paper sorters, accordion files. Okay, well, we've already done that and been there, so that's not going to work. Then separate into vintage papers, book pages. Okay, I've done that, and I am overflowing with those storage places. The envelope drawer won't close anymore, and that's not even envelopes. That's just the ones I have coffee dyed. And so anyway, I kind of want to show you how this looks, because it is very interesting, and I'm sure each person is going to get a different answer. It says keep in arm's reach, scissors, adhesives, and all that. And I do. I mean, all my stuff is in these little drawers that I have next to me. And the whole top drawer is stuff that I reach for every single day. Like, you know, my scraper thing here, my bone folder thing, my small scissors, my big scissors. And I used to have those all separate, but they get all mixed up anyway. So I just decided to just make a drawer, and they're all mixed up, but I can glance in there and I can pretty much see it right away. Versus having it in a stack of things like this. I have to fumble around in it to see what I want. And that wasn't supposed to be full of stuff, but it is now. So that's what I was kind of wanting to share with you. A tool caddy, I've got that. That's the only thing that should be on your desk. Your current project, your cool tool caddy, your adhesive, paper trimmer, things like that. And then it tells me that it sees fabric scraps and loose embellishments and containers without designated spots, which there are. I mean, I have little jars of things, and mostly because they're a pain to put back. It's like, who wants to put them all back after every single journal? This is all, not this one, but this is all the little pieces of ephemera that I had pulled out for Linda's journal and I didn't use. So I need to put them back, but I don't feel like fiddling around saying, okay, butterflies, take out the butterflies and put them back in the butterfly box. I don't know. I'm just really, really bad at doing that, but I don't know what else to do. And then it has create the 5 craft zones, and I could probably try to figure that out if I really wanted to. But right now I have little boxes everywhere. Oh, it says 30-minute reset. Empty everything off the desktop. Sort into put away, current projects, donate, trash. I think that's what, her name won't come to me right now, but 49 Dragonflies. I think that's what she was doing. She had separate boxes and she was just taking everything and going through that. Move all the lace into one location, all the loose papers, and then only return the daily tools to the desk. So it just goes on and on and on and, you know, tells you all these great things. So that gave me the answer, and I think that I could probably be more specific, you know, maybe, let's see, how would you store by color, or would you store by project, or would you, that doesn't make sense, project. What was I thinking? Well, what I was thinking is, let me see here. And this is all free, by the way. If you download this ChatGAP, it's totally free. There may be something in there where you have to spend more, but I don't think so. So this is from Natasha at Treasure Books. I've had this 5 years or so, I think, because it's from the very back when I started journaling. And this is a list of all the things that this is a double of this because I give this to that class that I taught not last year, but the year before that. I can't believe we keep running, the years keep going. So I was looking at this and I thought, because you're supposed to, well, the main thing is your cover for your journal, what you're going to use when you decide to do a journal. And I was doing a botanical here. So I wrote botanical. Then I had a wedding album, a wedding journal going, and a Gothic journal for my niece. And then my friend, Judy, I had a journal for her. And then I had a Victorian journal. And so as I was going down these things, I was building the journal, and I went down and I checked off what I put in those journals. So for instance, here I had charms on the spine or tassels. I checked that, but I don't think I really had wooden elements, so I'll skip that one. But I had a closure, I had buttons, I had applique, I had beads or buttons on the binding. I didn't put metal corners on it. I had a book plate. I used tea dye paper, ledger paper, paper doilies, paper bag. This is just for the botanical. I had stenciling, torn edges, inked edges, corner cut pages. This was border punch edges I didn't put in there. Sewing on paper, I had that. Stickers, I had that. Fussy cut images, I didn't check it, so I don't know why. Quote stickers, stamping on pages, postage stamps, no. Washi tape, yes. No embossing, no rub-ons. Flip out, flip downs, I had those. Paper clip, ribbon, ultra paper clips, charms, tags, lace, eyelash trim or yarn, journaling cards, belly bands, envelopes with flip out, pockets, corner flip up pockets. I had no napkins or mini booklets. I had tabs, ruffled ribbon, playing cards, and that's about it. Oh, and I have ball pens with charms in that one journal. So really, that's what we put in every journal, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, when I look at journals for sale on Etsy or wherever, I kind of look to see what they do put in their journals, and most of us do put charms, buttons. We have a closure, book plate, all that kind of stuff. So what I was thinking about today, as far as organization, would it not make sense to use these things as to put in one location? In other words, if I have tassels that I've already pre-made, and a lot of us have those pre-made, or charms, then I would put on the spine, let's say. I could have a plastic container or something and put all that stuff in the same one. Not have beads in one and charms in another, tassels in another, ribbons in another that I would use for tassel, whatever, but just confine it. Wooden elements, I could put all my wooden picture frames, all my wooden charms, wooden buttons. I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there. Closures, everything I have bought to use as a closure, like the little knobs that you buy from Tim Holtz, the post, how you put the hair ties in there too. Everything you need to make a closure, or anything that you have purchased or gotten that would be good for a closure. Then of course we're going to put buttons all together. Appliques, I'm not sure what that means. I don't really have appliques. Not unless, it's a vintage one if I got a stray. But if I found some, I could put them in one section. Beads or buttons on the binding, which is, I think she's talking about inside the journal when you sew your binding in when you sew your signatures into the binding. I'm confused now. It's a spine or a binding. You know how they have the dangles and you want to put something on those, or something that you know you want to use for those. All the metal corners can go in one box. The book plates can go in one box. Or you might combine all your metal together like I did. I have a whole, it says Tim Staples, but the whole thing, let me see. The whole thing is full of metal stuff. I've got snaps that I don't know how to put on. I've got D-rings. I've got, these are the little post things, I think. Extra brads. I don't know what these are for. Here's the buckle I was looking for a long time ago. I've got these bookmarks here. I've got this size. I've got my magnets in here. Yeah, just oddball stuff. All my clips like this, which I'm almost out of. And I guess if you did these in separate containers, it wouldn't matter. I don't think it would take up maybe much more space than this box, but yet do them separate. I don't know. It might not work at all. But right now, I have, when I want corners, I don't even know if I have 4 of them. So I have to dig through this whole thing to find out what I have. Because all I know is this is where I put metal stuff. And that's not just the metal stuff. I have a whole box over here with metal stuff, which is little safety pins, brads, eyelets. I have another section with eyelets, more brads, eyelets. So I have all this over here. I like these little containers though. They're kind of cool. But, you know, that might be too much to do individually. But if I could combine these things together somehow, like metal corners and book plates are generally for the outside of the journal, right? So maybe things, a closure would go on your journal. Those things would be attached. So maybe I could make one box for journal covers. Not what I'm going to decorate it with, because I don't always know what I'm going to do, but I would know where my metal corners are and the book plates. And then this one here, we have tea-dyed paper, scrapbook paper, book pages, music, which I've kind of already got this organized. And what I did to organize that, I'll show you here. I have a file cabinet under my desk, and I made file folders, and here is, I hope I'm in screen here. In this one is supposed to be yellow, and so any papers that I have that are yellow, they go in here, or around yellow, something like yellow, you know, just close. And then of course I have one for purples, so anything that's in the purple category I have in here. And then this one is brown. So these are like things that would be fall, brownish colors. This was jelly prints that Lisa sent. Piece of ephemera. Picture of an old farmhouse or something. So anyway, that is in there. And I tried this, but again, I have to put the stuff away. And that may be like this group here is just coffee dyed papers. Well, that one's not, but you know, things get stuck in between that aren't supposed to be there. But this is coffee dyed, tea dyed, whatever it is I was doing. Oh, there's that other. Oh, I'm going to put this somewhere, and I don't know what to call it. I mean, I don't know. It has to be close enough to get it when I need to pull a piece off. And then I did this with some of my lace, except I forget that it's in there. I forget to go in there and look for lace. But, you know, my brains are gone. It's just gone. I can't think anymore. So, but I like this idea to a certain degree because I cut the bottoms off of these. These I got free, like, or 10 cents at a yard sale. So, you know, if you go up to the yard sale and you want these, they'll say, just take them. Anything to get them out of their house, you know. And I'm thinking in my head, I want all that cool cardstock at the bottom. Then I thought, well, I'm going to save these tops because I can use this for other things that can hang in here. And even, did I do that or not? Oops. That one's also got lace, a few doilies and things. And, hold on a second. Where's the other? They do fall off. That's the only problem. They fall off easier. Maybe it's in another drawer. Oh, 1 second. Oops. So, like in this drawer, this is the bottom file. I have cabinet card photos in here. And I also use these extra, you know, in here to hold book pages. So, you know how you have random pieces of book pages? I do because people have sent me, I'm not using the whole book. They send me, you know, 4 or 5 different pages that they have. And so they're all mixed together at this point. And then I have, I can't even get out the file. Then I have a specialty paper file, which is mulberry paper, vellum, onion paper, ledger paper, all those different papers that are not typical digitals or coffee dyed or tea dyed. They're just, you know. So that's what I was kind of thinking of doing. Music pages. I mean, I have a stack of those. Dictionaries, I have stacks of those. But I'm not going to get rid of them. You know, I need them. I don't know when, and I a lot of times don't even remember that a dictionary page would work. They're great. Paper doilies, I do have a place for those now. Paper bags, kind of have a place, yeah. I have all the bins across over here on the back, on the side of my room, and those, you know, the square box things, and those are full of paper bags. I don't have any good ones left though. You know, now I'm getting down to the stuff that's not really all that great. I saved it, but it's, you know, it's just not that much fun. And I got tons of stickers and all that. So I don't know exactly what my plan is, but my plan is that I want to combine whatever I can, you know, all the lace, but it has to be organized. I can't go through a box of lace every day to find lace for a journal, and I almost do every day, or just a little chunk of it for a cluster or something. But when I get to this stage where, I mean, this has so much stuff listed. You could go to her website, go to her channel, and then just type in junk journal checklist and her playlist or something, and you'll probably find it. Because Izzy has been a really good thing for me to use. I mean, I don't write it in anymore, but I look through it and say, okay, yeah, okay, I could do that, because I'm not sure what I want to do on a page, and I'll glance at it and find it, see what I want. This one here, I'm not sure if this is from her or another website. There is no name on here, but this tells you all the things that you might want to collect for your journals. Board game score paper, feathers, all this stuff. I have it. Pages from an address book, cards of buttons, Bible verses, candy wrapper. Well, I don't have any candy wrappers right now. Census pages, just really all kinds of stuff. All kinds. And the census pages, if you can, I don't know, but I think you can go and get a copy of a census page, like your family page where you lived or something, or your grandparents, and you might be able to print the page out just for some vintage looking things. I'm not sure. So like my ink daubers are all pushed over here behind me in another shelf. They're not in a box or anything. So, okay, well, I guess that's all I have for this. I just thought maybe you guys could help me. I feel like I need somebody to say, yeah, do this because this is what I do. And I may not do it, but then again, I may not have ever thought to do that. I know a lot of you out there probably have great storage systems, but I've been trying to make a storage system for the last 6 years as I have been making journals. And I just really want to get to something that is, basically a great system. And, I've made several things on my videos, but this here, this never-ending journal, never-ending ephemera holder is probably the best thing I've ever done. I don't have anything in it now, but I'm going to go back to it and put my projects, once I do my fussy cuts, or if I collect some papers, put them in here. And I was going to use this for random things, like for any journal that I'm working on. I could say I need some dictionary, and there's a hunk of that. This is dictionary too. Here's a piece of napkin, German paper, German print, a little piece of ledger. So I was kind of trying to build up a little go-to stack, so if I needed something to put in a journal, I could do it. But again, now this one here I made with a belly band, and it holds an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So anyhow, yeah, this was one of the things that I think was probably the most helpful. And that I got that from Patricia. What is the name? Well, you guys have probably seen her. She's hilarious. I love, and from France. So what do I do with this? What do I do? I'm not going to go through and pick out flowers. I mean, I could sit here probably and say, okay, that's a flower, or is that a little journal card, or, scraps of paper, tons of scraps of paper that I have. And these are labels, of course. And they should go back in a label box or a label book. I guess that's really the whole problem, is that I don't put things back. So, and I guess if I have a little piece like this, which I would hate to throw it away because it's kind of cool, handwritten, just throw it away. You know, to me, that's a throwaway. I don't know what that's just, so these are just little pieces of ephemera. These I consider as labels. I call that ephemera. I'm just going to do some pile. That's ephemera, ephemera, butterfly, butterfly, butterfly. I think, well, that would be numbers. Put that in my number box. And that's ephemera, 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 ephemera. Two little things. This one I cut, but I might need another piece of that. Ephemera. I guess that's a label. Ephemera, ephemera. I could, okay, that's circle, circle. This is ephemera too. Ephemera. I know this is not what you want to watch, but you're welcome to go away if you want, or you're welcome to stay. I think by just talking to somebody about it, I'm going to get something done. Okay, and that's a die cut, which I need another box for die cuts because I have a place to put them in the die cut book. You know, the sticker book that I have for flowers and stuff. So I really do have a place for these. Like I said, it's just putting them away. And what I do have too over here, and then everything gets piled on the top of my little cart here, which I didn't want that to happen. I just wanted it for my cutter and my glue book. But I have this box of stuff, and so what I could do, because I get in this one quite a bit, I could put butterflies in here. I don't, I think I have a spot for, this is for tabs, this is for, I don't know what, nothing. That's for stamps. I think that's numbers. Butterflies, this is circles, buttons, goes in the button pile, little lace flowers. See, this gets even mixed up. Oh, these are tabs. Yeah, those are tabs. And what's this? Labels? Yeah, that's labels. All right, I think I'll take this out of here and put them in there for now. These are those rusty little pole things I made. And then I'll put these extra ephemeras in here. Well, this one's pretty big, so I'm going to put that back in its, I just keep these little tiny ones in here. There's a flower, and that's for flowers. So I can put that with that. These are circles. Whoops. And I don't know what. I guess this is going to have to go in charms. And this is just in like extra metal embellishments. Put that in there. These are labels. Okay, well that took care of that little bit of mess. So maybe I could put stuff in those until I get them completely full, and then just, you know, start putting them away in my other containers. This is a little tiny pocket, which, oh, yawning. This goes in numbers, and this goes in charms. And those I will get to later. I've got tissue. So this little book here, how much time have I been? I don't want to be on this too long because it's boring. It's not boring for me, but it's probably boring for you. So behind me, if you guys remember, I have the shoe rack, the plastic, and in there I put my journal cards. I put all the ephemera that was made, already made ephemera by color. So I put all the pink ephemera and all the green ephemera and the blue and all that together, which actually works out pretty good, except every time I want to get behind it to get something else out, it's in the way. So I may continue to use that though for finished ephemera, because I have this thing over here, this basket. See, that is, this is all full of already made ephemeras. You know, there's envelopes and just stuff that's been already turned into a piece of ephemera. But these are ones that I do for challenges and stuff, and then I don't ever use them. I'm doing better though. If you're trying to make them, like tomorrow I have to do the Crafty Cat challenge, and they're not going to be that easy. Okay, so what I decided to do with this book that Lisa made me, it's a never-ending journal, but it's a she put pockets in it. You don't have to put vellum and that kind of thing. So what I did was, I think these are still need to be sorted. Yeah. Because I have these, now these are, let's see what they are. They are tags, and they're in the 2.5 inch category. So they would go somewhere in this section. And it says 2.5 down here. And I have I don't know if that was supposed to be 2.5 also. I think these are 2.5s. That one isn't completely cut out. These might be, I think these are all 2.5 or under is what these are. Like these little bookmarks. And some of this stuff I have had forever, and like this piece here, it's just been there too long. This one I might keep it nicely going, some kind of, this is a vintage ephemera. And this is some kind of a notebook thing I was making, which looks terrible. But I do like this. That's not the real ephemera, that's, I think I printed this, or copied it. So I don't even want that because it might be copyrighted. And then here's another little bookmark, another tall, skinny. And then this one here measures 2.5, so it's got to go in here. I think I might have too many 2.5s. If I run out of space, I'm going to have to go to the other side. This one's 3 inches. And that's 3 inches there. This one is 4. So I have a couple ones of 3, and then 3.5s. and then 4s. Let's see what this one is. 4. There's 2 pockets here, so if it's a short one, I can put it at the top. Let's see if there's another 4. Now this is an envelope, and I don't know that I want to put envelopes in here. I think I want to put envelopes, and this was that other half of that card I tore in half. So it's a corner pocket. Maybe envelopes and pockets I can put together. This is just a piece of scrap paper. This is a pocket. Scrap paper. Also scrap paper. This is like a little booklet that's ephemera. It's closer to 4 than it is closer to 3. Let's see if I can get it there. This is 3. This one is 2 or less. And then there's some of these in here that I've had since day 1 and just never used them. I don't know what that is. I guess we'll call that a pocket. It's the bottom of a brown, one of those craft envelopes. Okay, and that one's already finished. So I'll stick it over there because I'm trying to put the finished ones. This is just a little notebook. And this one, I mean, it has, I would say it's a finished tag. But I think I should just put it in this one. 3.5. All right, guys, I'm not going to do this whole thing with you. It's too much work. I can do this while I'm sitting in there watching TV, which I don't want to watch TV. I want to keep working on stuff. So I think this is going to work for it. This is and I have boxes too of this, of just tags and journal cards. And then I want to try and do some ephemera, like making different kinds of journal cards. But I won't have a specific color in mind. I might just kind of do let's see what day, maybe on Mondays, because right now I don't have a journal that I'm working on. So Mondays can be making things that I need more of, which would be, I'm always out of journal cards. I usually have tags, but just a plain, simple journal card. And these actually are too small because most of where I put things in a journal, I need those ones that go in the side pockets that are almost the same size as the page. So anyway, that's what I've got so far. Still have lots of room. And then this side is, I thought I'd put some of those postcards back in here. And I didn't mark these yet until I see where I need them. So I still have several pockets here to put stuff in. It's cool. So thank you, Lisa. And I really, really like my stuff in these books. Like when I do, when I go through my flower book, I can just turn the pages and find, you know, a flower that I need. But again, I have to take the time to put the flowers in there. So that's my fault, you guys. It's totally my fault. I just don't do it. Seems like I'm always running out of time, or I'm always have something new to do and I don't want to do that. So I just put it to the side and then try to, you know, do something else, move on. But we'll see. But anyway, I'm going to let you go, and I hope you got something out of this video. I would look into that ChatGAP thing. It's on your Apple apps. And they probably have it on Google Play too. I don't know. But I can't. I'm going to ask it some other questions. I don't know if it'll help. But my grandson does this, and he'll take a picture, like a out of the family picture, and he'll say, eliminate the girl on the back row, third from the left, or something like that. And it'll take out my granddaughter, his sister. I don't know how that works, but I don't know. It's a very smart tool, and we're gonna have to get used to it, because I think right now I'm planning to do some work in my laundry room that's never been fixed since I moved in. It's still got old drywall and falling down wires and all that kind of stuff. And so I went to Home Depot to see about the cost of doing paneling or wood strips or something like that. And it asked me what size room that I was going to be doing. And I put in the numbers of the room, the size of the room. And it came back and said, the box size was, each box was 10 by 10 square feet. So that's not the same as 10 by 10, obviously. But anyway, it came back and said I needed 56 boxes. And if I needed 56 boxes, it was going to cost me like $3,000 to make this, work, this wood. And I said, okay, no, that's not it. I'm not making that. But, it was kind of cool because you could put whatever size in there and it would tell you exactly what you needed. And so then I changed from that to some simpler wood, like pine boards. I was going to do like a pallet wall with pine boards. And it told me exactly how many boards I needed. I need 5 that were 4 by 8. And I need 5 boards for every 10 square feet, something like that. I mean, it was really interesting. But, all right, guys, thanks for joining me today. And this video is going up today. So it is, well, it's Monday for me, but it's going to be up on Tuesday. So it's not like my regular videos. It's just an extra pop in. All right, have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.